Party. But good thing our current Secretary of Defense, who worked at Guantanamo Bay, is now tasked with building camps. Bro, you gotta be playing? No, I'm not. I don't know how many times I explained this. This is probably the shittiest I told you so moment of all time. It's one of those things that I wish I was completely wrong on. Okay? But it seems to be that I'm not wrong on this. And it's something that I've been talking about, not just this past cycle, something that I've talked about for years at this point. That if you consistently dehumanize undocumented immigrants and lie about them, and the Democrats don't actually counter-message against that, then inevitably the Republicans will dominate the conversation, and everyone will come to this false notion that undocumented migrants are all rapists, bloodthirsty, murdering drug dealers who serially kill babies and must be violently removed from this country. And in that process, that violent removal is, of course, going to be costly, horrifying, and a lot of people are going to get swept away, not dissimilar to what Nazi Germany did. That's it. And that's where we're at currently. If Kamala won right now, would you be happier than at this moment or at the same level? No, I would be at the same level. I would be at the same level because clearly Donald Trump is always going to be worse than the Democrats, okay? That's just a fact. The Republicans are always going to be worse than the Democrats. But the Democrats are trying to play catch up with the Republicans all the time, okay? Like, you cannot deny the very important role that the Democratic Party played in undercutting their own message initially, that we are a nation of migrants. Like, they just cut that down, they chopped it up, and they basically thought that the best thing that they could do in this process, after 4 years of unlimited fuck migrants propaganda coming from the right, they turned around and said, you know what, you're right, we were wrong actually, my bad, oopsie, we actually also want to fucking kill migrants. Here is our Kill the Migrants border bill. Joe Biden unveiled his own Build the Wall border bill on October 4th, 2023. Okay? Like 3 days before October 7th.
Sí.
I was losing my mind. I was like, what are you
Bueno, bro, fuerzas. Dale, yo mañana organizo el día. Mañana yo organizo el día.
Delineation between sanctuary city and cooperation. When you say no criminal histories at all, you're not including the illegal crossing of the border. That is correct. Their status is that they're in the country illegally. They do not have proper documentation, but they do not have any criminal charges or suspected charges assigned to them.
Were you able to witness some of the specifics of rules of engagement when they are going up to
So the first operation we went...
You talking to Rokana about crime and immigration? Oh, here. Love focus testing.
How would you counter message on crime and immigration?
Easy. Look at the data. Crime is at an all-time low. The minor blip that happened in crime mostly focused on homicides, and it was a one-off. It of course immediately went away. Now it's down 40% in places like Philadelphia. So. And even at that time, people were, that's a fact, use facts to address the made-up hysteria from Republicans. These are falsehoods. They're running on complete falsehoods. They're running on emotional anecdotes. And obviously, when you see a lot of homelessness, you think, oh, that's crime. That's a criminal. Like immediately, that's how people personalize the crime that they're experiencing. It is pretty crazy that I was just fucking rocking titties out at the DNC. Like what? I am a very weird person for this. I'll admit that. You know, I'll be the first to recognize that this shit is crazy. Like I had my titties out at the Democratic National Convention talking to some goddamn senators and congresspersons and shit. When in fact, like, there is no organized retail theft. The notion that local news and national networks were running on organized retail theft while showing National Retailers Association numbers on shrink, when shrink was only going up, adjusted to more foot traffic, more people going out. What is happening right now? What is going on right now? Why is my YouTube effing? Shopping was ridiculous. That was something that they could have easily I put it addressed, and instead they did not do that. And I would say we during the you have a buffer, so I don't think it's your internet. I think it's just YouTube being weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's odd. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
¿Ya se fue, Jimmy? Jimmy, ¿ya se fue?
AOC post,
Se fue a trabajar.
but they're only going to round up immigrants committing crime. No, ICE is already rounding up innocent American citizens. A 3-year-old and his mother and his grandmother were speaking Spanish while shopping at the department store in Milwaukee. They're U.S. citizens from Puerto Rico, but were taken by ICE. It wasn't until they were in detention that the mother was allowed to produce identification and birth certificates indicating their citizenship. I'm so sorry, she was told. The family had to order and pay.
No. Estuvo viendo. No, man. Oye, Siri. Oye, Siri. Oye, Siri. Pon el arma a las 7.
He activado la alarma de las 7 p.m.
They will have financial security, and they will be endlessly successful. And then all of a sudden, when that doesn't match, that expectation is not matched up by their reality, they feel insecure and angry, and any sort of violent expression from the state for those who are even more marginalized than they are, even more vulnerable than they are, is seen as a benefit, because it's like, well, at least I got this, at least I'm not that guy, I'm above that guy, you know what I mean? Americans never do this, chat. They never do this. Look, okay, they only do this. They only do this over and over and over again. They never even dare to look up. They only look up and imagine that they will be there one day, fantasize that they will be there one day, and when they're up there, they'll be really ruthless. Oh, those working poors better watch out when I make it, you know what I mean? Yeah. As was obvious, Democrats compromising on basic things like due process, civil rights would not result in some sort of Republican goodwill or electoral benefit. It's just leading the Democrats looking spineless as they possibly helped Trump throw migrants in Guantanamo. 58 Democrats helped Republicans pass the Lake and Riley Act, which will enable Trump's ICE to put migrants accused of shoplifting, not convicted, not charged, accused of shoplifting, without due process. Do you understand how fucking psychotic that is? If only there was someone who's warning about this shit for literally years and years and years and years, okay? And that's the reason why they have to utilize Guantanamo Bay. Because if they were to do this in an American prison facility within the American borders right now, they would actually still run into problems. You know what I mean? They would run into some legal hurdles. Just like the judge that issued an injunction, just like judges that, still will hear an executive order come down and go, that's unconstitutional, what the fuck are we doing here? And they can't have that. So they have to process them expeditiously through Guantanamo Bay, where there is no need for due process, and that you can engage in involuntary detention permanently without due process for a very long time. So even if someone who is brown, let's say, is undocumented, and they are suspected of shoplifting, police come, they arrest him, they find out he's undocumented, ICE comes in, they nab him, they ship his ass to Guantanamo Bay. They put him in a fucking concentration camp in Guantanamo Bay. He is now in permanent involuntary detention with no trial. Do you understand what that is? That means every single time some racist asshole sees a brown person, they can just call the cops and say, this guy actually did something wrong, did something illegal, and the ICE will come and nab them and deport them. This is straight up Nazi Germany, okay? This is exactly what they did to fucking Jewish people in Nazi Germany. This is how it works. Tack on an incentive structure into it, and it's like, we're cooking, you know? Oh, you get $1,000 for every immigrant crime that you, maybe not 1,000, but if you get $100 for every immigrant crime that you actually report to the federal law enforcement agencies. Yeah, and it wasn't just Jews, it was enemies of the state, exactly. Think about that. Yeah, they didn't just do it to Jewish folks. They did it to all manner of different people. Socialists in particular. Trade union socialists. We should watch documentaries on historical examples. You mean just any Nazi documentary? Any documentary that covers the lead up to World War II will very clearly cover what is going on here. Okay? Straight up any. Like, you can watch any, even like a shittily made one, okay? It doesn't have to be a particularly good one. You could watch like simplified history style YouTube videos and get a pretty decent understanding of exactly what's going on right now and what is to come, okay? Even the anti-trans shit, Nazis were super anti-trans, okay? The first book burning that the Nazi Party engaged in was books about, was research dedicated to transgender medicine. Literally. Down to the fucking anti-trans shit. Like, it is a one-to-one, a direct one-to-one. Reactionary politics doesn't change all that much. Obviously, you have to adopt to the current time, current culture, and maybe change the language a little bit, but the underlying sentiment is still the same. Oftentimes the targets are the same as well. Some exceptions to that, for sure, but it is the same resentment and interest in enacting violence against enemies, perceived enemies of the state, or marginalized people that you can dominate. Yeah, this is... Well, there you go. I was, there you have it. Mississippi lawmakers want bounty hunters to find undocumented immigrants. The proposed Mississippi Illegal Alien Certified Bounty Hunter Program Fund shows how hardline immigration policies at the federal level have influenced policy proposals in states and localities. There it is. Can we finally vote blue no matter who? Yeah. Voting for the Democrats last time around was simply a stay of execution, okay? It just meant that you would get a 4-year hold on this. And inevitably bring about the Trump agenda from 4 years prior. This is something that I tried to explain to people at the time. And it is directly responsible for the Overton window shifting this dramatically to fascism, okay? While electoralism is not going to be the end-all be-all or the real solution to this sort of thing, contrary to what liberals believe, I still maintain the position that electoralism can be a very important tool. It's something that I've never cast aside. It's something that I urge people to engage with seriously, right? Having said that, the Democratic Party is supposed to be competent. If it's incompetent, then it offers the Republicans these massive victories. It gives Republicans complete ground to engage in whatever kind of fascist nonsense, whatever kind of violent nonsense and initiative that they want to do, that they want to engage in. If you understand that, if you recognize that, like, Republicans are devastating to the country, to the globe, the lives of Americans, to the lives of your neighbors, then you have to do everything in your power to fucking fight back. And the Democrats did not do that, okay? Parading Liz Cheney around was not that. It was the opposite of that. This is why I kept fucking criticizing the Democrats during the election cycle. This is why I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, dude, I don't want Trump to win. I don't want Trump to win. It seems like you guys, the Democrats, want him to win, or at least don't care enough to do what is necessary to stop him from winning. And here we are. Here we are. Wonderful stuff.
With this Venezuelan gang member, there was a tremendous show of force. Heavy tactical gear, ramming through the door, going inside, apprehending people. Large show of force to make sure that not only they were tactically safe, but they could execute this particular maneuver. And be honest. Capturing photography sends a message. And the administration wants that visual message sent. There is a new administration in charge. These raids are real. They will be more numerous, and the tempo and scope is different than the previous administration. So much more to talk about here, but we'll keep covering it for sure. We will. Major, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Soaring egg prices may have you wondering whether you can afford the breakfast staple. Well, according to the CBS News price tracker, a dozen eggs on average costs $4.15 today, compared to $2.51 just a year ago. That's a 65% increase for those of us counting. And our Nancy Chen explains what's behind the spike and what it means for your menu.
Between the classic breakfast platters, omelets.
No way, how did that happen? Oh my God, but there you go. Pumped on did it again, my goat.
And egg sandwiches. There are plenty of shells being cracked at Monaco Diner in Brooklyn.
These are the 3 cases we got in today.
How long will it take you to go through all this?
Probably like 2-3 days.
Those cases are getting more expensive for owner Kathleen as egg prices increase nationwide.
It is hard to think of a diner and not think of eggs. How central are eggs to your menu?
Probably makes up like 40 to 50% of our menu.
So what does something like this do to your bottom line?
It's challenging. Like, we are a diner. You have to have an egg plate. We don't ever want to make people pay more for something like that. So you figure out how to cut costs elsewhere.
Restaurants are already managing higher operating costs and fewer people dining out. One survey found in 2024, nearly half of consumers say they cook at home more, and it may be a while before there's relief. According to the USDA, egg prices are predicted to increase 20% this year alone, as renewed bird flu outbreaks affect farms nationwide. More than 145 million birds have been killed since the start of the outbreak. Roughly 8% of the country's total flock wiped out since November alone, driving egg shortages and price surges across the country.
There have been outbreaks of bird flu before. Why does this one stand out?
I think it stands out because it's lasted so long. We continue to have outbreaks that continues to cut into our supplies, and our ability to make up for those lost chickens is just not there.
Yet Texas A&M livestock economist David Anderson says Americans continue to depend on eggs as an affordable source of protein.
Eggs are a staple. The demand is such that, we still want to go buy eggs. And so that creates a situation of skyrocketing prices.
A challenge for consumers at the grocery store that Green keeps in mind for her customers as well.
I'm not only considering, the price that they're paying when they're eating here, but I'm also considering the fact that at home they're paying considerably more for eggs.
Another strategy.
As for what happens long term, Anderson says this outbreak could become endemic or always present, which means that egg price uncertainty, it could be here to stay. Now, given that, there are substitutes to consider, especially in baking, like applesauce, mashed bananas, or even tofu in some recipes. You gotta get creative, Tony. It's expensive out there.
It's not gonna cut it. If there's still, don't order out. If you scramble 2 eggs and put some potatoes next to it, it's a full meal. It's still relatively cheap compared to what's out there.
That's right. All right, excellent reporting.
So we have no shortage of challenges to confront, and I even agree with some of the diagnosis of Mr. Kennedy. What is so disturbing to me is that out of 330 million Americans, we're being asked to put somebody in this job who has spent 50 years of his life not honoring the tradition that he talked about at the beginning of this conversation, but peddling in half-truths, peddling in false statements, peddling in theories that, create doubt about whether or not things that we know are safe are unsafe. Not that every vaccine in America is unsafe, not that you can't possibly have an adverse reaction, but that parents and children in my old school district and school districts all in this country would be better off not getting vaccinated than getting vaccinated. Unlike his own children who were vaccinated, unlike the people he invited to his house in Los Angeles for their party who were vaccinated. For everybody else, it's about peddling these half-truths. And he says it with such conviction that you want to believe him. And Mr. Kennedy, I just have there are many, many things in the record, but I hope that you could answer these questions yes or no. I've tried.
Let me see if this works better. Did this do anything? No. I feel like this didn't do shit. I'm trying to see if the lighting is a little bit better this way, but it doesn't feel like it. Yo, you peeps over the pond need to put a stop to this. No man is sitting around and whining. I know, but...
A stick. You're embarrassing us, as I wish.
The Republicans tied America to the tracks. Close curtains if possible? No, I'm not going to close curtains. I don't want to. Shitty. Canadian tuxedo goes crazy. It's not a Canadian tuxedo. Alright. Yeah, we're now talking about RFK Jr. with his ridiculous Senate confirmation hearing. Just when you thought you've seen it all, Trump is playing tennis with Serena Williams barefoot in full suit. What? What the? What?
Trump volleyed with Serena Williams. And Donald Trump is always where the cameras are when it involves making money. And today at Rose Island in Sterling, Virginia, he opened the Tennis Performance Center. Trump.
When is this from? This is gotta be an old video, but like, where and when? Gotta be AI? No, it's probably super old.
Volleyed with Serena Williams, shoes off, coat on. Donald Trump showing he's got some game. Some, little. It's.
Can I call you Hassan in my college essay, Mr. Piper? What? Yeah, okay. Yes. You have my permission. I don't understand. No, call him Papa? No, you can call me Hassan. Interesting. Didn't know that was a real thing. Yeah, it's from 2015. See, Donald Trump opens new tennis center in Sterling. Damn, this is a rare Trump, by the way. This is actually a rare Trump, which is shocking because as the Trump historian, I rarely ever see a rare Trump that I haven't seen before, and we did it. We finally arrived at a rare Trump that I had not seen yet.
here at the Trump National Club. Both are tremendous facilities. It was good to see him out there, and the fans seem to enjoy it.
What? Wait, he knows how to... What?
On, got him.
With socks on?
Yeah, he opened the Tennis Performance Center. Trump volleyed with Serena Williams, shoes off, coat on. Donald Trump.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I just realized something. One of my favorite Trump photos of all time is the one where his pussy is looking super fat.
I recognize this.
He's playing tennis in that with the little booty shorts. Dude, I just realized I never noticed he was playing tennis in that because his ass is so fat that it's like that meme. It's like, I can't tell you the color of anything in this photo. You know what I'm talking about? He does play tennis. That's so wild. Like, oh, ain't nobody looking at that cat meme? Oh my God, I am that guy. I'm the guy who just ain't nobody looking at the cat. But for this photo, this very moment, after like almost the past decade of using this photo as my favorite rare Trump, I just now noticed that he's playing tennis in it. It's been a decade. I have used this photo, Chad, I've used this photo for a decade, and this is the first time I realize he's playing tennis in it. That is crazy. Don't ask me the color of anything, dude. Straight up. Wow. Wow. Okay, we're done with the tennis moment, okay?
I'd ask these in a manner that's faithful to what you actually said, because I didn't want to have a debate about whether you actually said them. So I'm asking you yes or no, Mr. Kennedy. Did you say that COVID-19 was a genetically engineered bioweapon that targets black and white people, but spared Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people?
I didn't say it was deliberately targeted. I just quoted an NIH-funded.
Yeah. He just said it was a Chinese bioweapon built with the Chinese alongside the Ashkenazi Jews to target black and white people. He did say that. Like, he very openly said that. But I guess he didn't mean it, except he did mean it. So not exactly certain on what this defense is here. Oh, I just saw the NIH-funded study that told me that was the case.
An NIH published study.
Did you say that it targets black and white people but spared Ashkenazi?
I quoted a study, Your Honor. I quoted an NIH study that showed.
I'll take that as yes. I have to move on. Did you say that Lyme disease is highly likely a materially engineered bioweapon? I made sure I put in the highly likely. Did you say Lyme disease is a highly likely militarily engineered bioweapon?
I probably did say that.
Did you say that? Okay, I want all of our colleagues to hear it, Mr. Kennedy. I want them to hear it. You said yes. Did you say that exposure to pesticide causes children to become transgender?
No, I never said that.
Okay, I have the record that I'll give to the chairman, and he can make his judgment about what you said. Did you write in your book, and it's undeniable, that African AIDS is an entirely different disease from Western AIDS? Yes or no, Mr. Kennedy?
I'm not sure if I may.
Okay, I'll give it to the chairman, Mr. Kennedy, and my final question. Did you say on a podcast, and I quote, "I wouldn't leave abortion, to the states. My belief is we should leave it to the woman. We shouldn't have the government involved, even if it's full term." Did you say that, Mr. Kennedy?
Senator, I believe every abortion is a tragedy.
Did you say it, Mr. Kennedy? This matters. It doesn't matter what you come here and say that isn't true, that's not reflective of what you really believe, that you haven't said over decade after decade after decade, because unlike other jobs we're confirming around this place, this is a job where it is life and death for the kids that I used to work for in the Denver public schools and for families all over this country that are suffering from living in the richest country in the world that can't deliver basic health care and basic mental health care to them. It's too important for the games that you're playing, Mr. Kennedy. And I hope my colleagues will say to the president, I have no influence over him. I hope my colleagues will say to the president, out of 330 million Americans, we can do better than this.
Senator Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Kennedy, thanks for being with us. I very much like the slogan that you coined, Make America Healthy Again. And I strongly agree with that effort. Despite spending, as you indicated, 2 or 3 times as much per capita on healthcare as other nations, we have 85 million people who are uninsured, underinsured. We have all kinds of chronic illnesses. Our life expectancy is lower than other countries. And for working class people in this country, they are living 6-7 years shorter lives than the top 1%. We got a problem, okay? And I'm going to suggest some ideas that I think can remedy that. Last year, the insurance industry in this country made over $70 billion.
That's my friend. Chat. That's my buddy. Friend of the show, Bernie Sanders. Friend of the show, Bernard Sanders. Did you hear the last guy? Yes. I'm a Bannon's head. Okay?
Splinters of bone.
I'm a... Is that the Tenga condom on your head? Yeah, it is. Beanie looks sick. It's a Family Mart beanie. B-ball homies in Vermont soon, please. Yes. Why do you wear the beanie like that? Doesn't cover your ears? You still balling in Japan at all? We'll see. I'm gonna try to, but we haven't had any time. Virtually every moment that I've been in Japan has been slammed with. Guys, I was on camera for 17 hours yesterday. 17. Bro came and took a shit? Yeah. Like, we've been pumping far too much content for you guys to keep up with. Like, we have literally been flooding it. I start at 5 a.m. Tokyo time, and I went until 11 p.m. Tokyo time last night. Yeah. Many people are saying that it's causing societal collapse. Doc, how does it look? Well, hold on, fam. Hassan is at the Tango store. Gotta see what that's about. Are you deported already? Yeah, dude, I got deported to Japan. Less content, please. I am newer. Divergent is overwhelming me. Yeah, no. Sorry. My dog watches house and I'm in my surgery is bricked. Well, I haven't been able to see most of the Tokyo streams. What the fuck are y'all doing to each other?
My financial advisor told me about me.
Yeah. It's true. He did. That's how the Shibuya boys do it. You know? That's how the Shibuya boys do it. Alright, let's keep going.
While at the same time, 85 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured. Do you agree with me that the United States should join every other major country on earth and guarantee health care to all people as a human right? Yes? No?
Senator, I can't give you a yes or no answer to that question.
Wow. That's crazy. You fraudulent charlatan. We already knew he was a bitch. God damn, dude. I thought you were supposed to be independent, dude. I thought you were not supposed
Bueno,
to be
decirle cualquier cosa que baje, que venga acá si necesita algo.
What happened? What happened to the RFK Jr. chatters? You can't even lie? God forbid you lie at the behest of the people for once. Nope. This is why I always tell you, conspiracy guys are creating very enticing distractions away from the real vectors of pressure and the real vectors of pain. Okay? Good take. I had friends who were lethal against conspiracies yet did not care about their actual rights. Hassan, you are a rat trying to destroy our world. You are so blind. Absolute piece of shit, Hassan Rat. Keep your filth in your book? What? Oh, I think he's being Islamophobic. I was trying to understand like what kind of angle of attack that was coming in here, but I think he's just like, when he said keep your filth in your book, I think he means like the Quran. Sober Paladin, not so sure if he's still sober. Don't know if contrary to what the username indicates, I don't think he's sober at this moment. "2013 person who shatters in their 30s? Yeah, their name is Sober Paladin. This is an admin gold viewer who's played WoW his entire life. My brother's in prison right now, and I said for him to keep a lookout for a tall man. If he sees him with a gay man and a fashionable shorter man, say hello. No, did he get banned? What happened? I love the way you try to upset Asmin, but you can't. Wait, you? I'm not trying to upset Asmin World at all. Unbanned now. I'm going to be very real with you, chatter. In spite of all the things that you're going through, and in spite of our disagreements, I still wish you the best. And I will still continue to advocate for your rights. I will still continue to advocate for you to get health care. I want what's best for you at the end of the day, even if you don't want it, even if you don't see it. What? He's probably mad that streamer's dad called him talking about you. Oh, Asmon dad called Asmon Gold to talk about me. Asmon dad is a fan, and he's a watcher. He's a head. He's a Hafanabi head. I hope he doesn't hate me now because I've been very critical of Asmon Gold. Asmon dad does not agree with Asmon Gold on a lot of political issues. Yeah. In Asmon's chat, you are an abomination. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. No, it's not a bit. That's real. It's a real thing.
Is healthcare a human right?
In the way that free speech is a human right, I would say it's different because if the free speech doesn't cost anybody anything, but in healthcare, if you smoke cigarettes for 20 years and you get cancer, you are now...
Dude, this is so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love this, okay? This is so awesome. Guy who is supposed to be working outside of the confines, who's supposed to undermine for-profit healthcare and like routinely, the guy who's made a name for himself by preaching about how for-profit healthcare and the food industry is like poisoning us, turns around and says, oh, the solution instead of socialized medicine is actually engaging in self-restraint. That is literally just a Republican position, you fucking jackass. Oh yeah, dude. If you have leukemia as a child, well, you should have thought about perhaps not having it. Thanks, man. Thanks, dude. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. And I can't wait for Republicans to fucking cry about, like, people making fun of RFK's voice, by the way. That's definitely coming. Republicans will cry foul and claim ableism and complain endlessly as though we don't know the way they operate. You know what I mean?
It was deserved. I draw the line at children.
And so, are you guaranteed the same right?
Look, I'm sorry. I'd love to talk for an hour with you. We got a few minutes left here. All right. Every other country says healthcare, whether you're poor or rich, young or old, is a human right. I'm not hearing you say that. All right. You've talked about the drug companies, and maybe we agree on this one. As you all know, despite the drug companies making over $100 billion in profits, paying CEOs outrageous compensation packages, we in some cases pay 10 times more for the same drug. Will you support legislation that I will introduce which says that in America we should not be paying a nickel more for prescription drugs than people around the rest of the world? Yes, no.
To equalize it?
Not to equalize it, that we should not be paying more than other countries for the same damn drugs.
Like, we moved on from Medicare for all to just like, can we get some normalcy in the pay structure? You claim that you want to undermine the pharmaceutical industry. You claim that you want to undermine the pharmaceutical industry. You understandably have presented a genuine problem within the incentive structure of the pharmaceutical industry time and time again. Would you be on board with lowering the profits of the pharmaceutical industry at the behest of the citizens and advocate for, you know, more reasonable prices? This isn't socialized medicine at this point. We've moved past that. We moved past that to like, can we get anything here? And my man still cannot do it. He still can't. Yo, Palestinian activists in Japan want to invite you to their organizing space. If you're down, I can facilitate it for you through Krogan. That would be sick. Yeah, let's, Let's try to figure that out. Man, this guy is still crying, by the way. It's awesome. It's awesome. Let him cry. Talk to me or you're scared, chicken. You're an embarrassment. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Look, a lot of these people just want a helping hand, dude. They just want someone to notice them. They want someone to acknowledge their existence. And when you don't do it, they lose their minds. Talk to me is what he ended up spamming in the fucking chat. Like, that's a sad state of affairs, okay? Understand that for many people, that is what they want. It's sad. Most people that you see online are going through some shit like that. So while they might come across like they're, without a second glance, that initially you might think like, oh, well, is this reasonable criticism, or is this like a disagreement of politics or whatever? Many disagreements online, especially in this space, stem from the personal things that individuals are going through. Like, that person is just going through it all, you know? And what they need is someone to communicate with them, someone to recognize their existence, right? Beanie likes him cool, yeah. You're terrified of learning. Talk with me, coward. I'll debate your crap. It's reasonable. You're terrified of learning and debating it. There's no feelings. You literally are a cancer. Like, what do you want to debate? That I'm cancer? It's, you know, the ridiculous premise. Debate me on why you're cancer. Okay, sure, dude. I'm sorry, chatter. Look, if it was a different time, if I wasn't currently in Japan, okay, if I was not there right now, if I wasn't here right now, and I had a limited amount of time to cover as many news stories as I can before we move on to the IRL portion, where I will go and work at a maid cafe without even speaking a lick of Japanese, then I would perhaps entertain it, because it seems very funny. But unfortunately, today is not the day. Today is not your day.
President Trump has asked me, in fact, I had a meeting with President Trump a week ago where we showed him the charts.
He knows the charts.
We're paying 10 times more from Europe.
That's right.
Afterwards, we're going to go and pet Capitol.
And are you going to commit to us that you will end that absurdity?
I think in principle we can. We should end that disparity.
Good. Okay, that's great. All right. I happen to believe that climate change is real, it's an existential threat, and it is a healthcare issue. Donald Trump thinks that it is a hoax originating in China. Question is, in your judgment, is climate change a hoax, or is it real, causing devastating problems?
President Trump and I, from the beginning, from our first meeting, agreed to this.
The part that I don't understand about, like climate change or COVID, like the claims that it's a hoax, is that it's still killing people. You know what I mean? You can just deny it. You can close your eyes and plug your ears and go, da 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 da. I can't hear you. But like, no, it's not. Islam is killing people. Okay, man. I guess Sober Paladin is the type of dude who is the target audience for this kind of stuff, where they are so invested in like the wrong narrative no matter what. Something could hit them in the fucking face and they'd be like, you know who would hit me in the face actually? Islam.
On that issue, I believe Science is existential. My job is to make Americans healthy again.
You believe that you disagree with Trump? You don't think climate change is a hoax? Is what I'm hearing.
My job here is to...
I'm just asking you that, Mr. Kennedy, not your question.
I answered the question, Senator.
Okay, you disagree with the president.
I answered your question.
Okay. I'm going to pick up on a point that Senator Hassan made. Look, there is no question that abortion is a divisive issue in this country. I would say a majority of the people are pro-choice. There's a strong minority who are pro-life. A year and a half ago, you went to New Hampshire, running for president, gave a speech, and you talked about government should not tell a woman what she can do with her own body. That's her choice. Now, I think everybody on that side is pro-life. I think everybody here is pro-choice. I have never seen any major politician flip on that issue quite as quickly as you did when Trump asked you to become HHS secretary. Tell me why you think people should have confidence in your consistency and in your work when you really made a major U-turn on an issue of that importance in such a short time.
Senator, I believe, and I've always believed, that every abortion is a tragedy.
But you told the people of New Hampshire that it was their right. All right, let me do a last question. I'm running out of time. I think the gist of what you were trying to say today is you're really pro-vaccine, you want to ask questions. You have started a group called the Children's Health Defense. You're the originator. Right now, as I understand...
I saw this. This one is incredible. Look at that. Look at the RFK merch. These people, the transgenders, are grooming your children, but also I want to groom them into not using vaccines.
And on their website, they are selling what's called onesies. These are little things, clothing for babies. One of them is titled Unfaxed, Unafraid. Next one, and they're sold for $26 a piece, by the way. Next one is No Vax, No Problem. Now you're coming before this committee and you say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on the usefulness of vaccines. Can you tell us now that you will, now that you are pro-vaccine, that you're going to have your organization take these products off the market?
Senator, I have no power over that organization. I'm not part of it. I resigned from the board.
That was just a few months ago. You founded that. You certainly have power. You can...
No. That was the old me, Senator. Why is he more upset about the baby onesies, the anti-vaxxer baby onesies, than, like, I don't know, when Bennett was cooking him about how, like, African AIDS is a different kind of AIDS than the AIDS you see in the Western world. Like, these people have grilled him on a bunch of things that are totally valid to grill him on, okay? And he just kind of sat there and took it. This is the first time he's, like, genuinely launched a defense. He's like, no, that was not me. The onesie is a bridge too far, Senator. I would never. Some lines you don't cross. In-range moms are as big as Riz. Yeah, except those moms love him. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? They don't care.
Are you supportive of this?
I have nothing to do with...
Are you supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccines.
Are you supportive of this clothing, which is militantly anti-vaccine?
I am supportive of vaccines. I will. I want good science, and I want to protect...
But you
are you a supporter of these onesies? Dude! Wild line of questioning. I mean, I get what he's trying to do. The reason why he's pointing to that is because the organization that he funded, that is an anti-vaxxer organization, is like selling anti-vaxxer onesies, which very clearly is like